21.
I won. Suck my dick.
That was
loud.
Yeah, that wasn't a blackjack call out. It's week 21, man.
Oh shit! Now that was a Maximilian dude reference back when he was cool.
He's still cool.
No, he's a fucking douchebag. Anybody that fucking does rate my costumes for a living, I hate you. I hope you get set on fire.
Man, those videos are like so few and far between, bro.
It's either rate costumes, rate fucking supers. If I want to sit there and watch, we've been doing that since the Dreamcast days, buddy. Okay?
Yeah.
We've been watching fucking combo videos on VHS, nigga.
FGC boomers.
I swear to God. He's trying to adapt to these fucking new kids, man. Like, it's pathetic. And he's censoring himself because he's afraid of the YouTube bots.
Yeah,
so he has to block out the cursing.
Because I was like, basically YouTube is about to become a kid's site.
Yeah.
Like that's the long short of everything that's going on with YouTube right now. That's just going to be a kid-only site, and we need somewhere else to go.
There's there's supposedly some Wild West ideas out there. Yeah. I've always used Daily Motion when I want to watch pro wrestling videos that have been taken down.
Yeah.
But other than that, as far as content creators, I watch overly simple productions or overly sarcastic productions. Excuse me. Fucking oversimplified. A lot of my history stuff there, history infotainment, and I guess just arcade footage from Japan and just anything that happens as far as big tourneys are concerned for my games. That's about it.
Like, there's a bunch, man. Like, there's a bunch of stuff, like a bunch of content creators that I like that aren't kid friendly, but YouTube is yet again taking the corporate route, and instead of addressing the problem, we just punish the content creators, because like the whole reason they're doing that shit is because they got sued, I think, for like $200 million by like the FCC, the government actually sued them because they broke the FCC laws, where it's like on the internet you can't advertise certain things to children, like shit like politics and stuff like that, because it's not considered a suitable ad for children. And YouTube was basically just let the algorithms have it. It's like, hey, everybody that puts up a video gets ads from this pool of sponsors.
Yes.
Run on their videos.
That was the whole adpocalypse.
Right. And so now you have like toy unboxing videos and Fortnite streaming videos that have ads for like Andrew Yang, Trump 2020, like fucking medicine, like fucking HIV, not HIV, but chlamydia medicine being advertised to kids. And
they did the like, HIV medicine too.
Yeah.
They did the fucking men's health medicine too.
Yeah. And it's just like, as opposed to fixing your algorithm, fixing your system, they literally turned into the Gestapo. It's like, hey, we're sending out a survey and we need to know if you make kids content or not. So basically, if you do, you can keep your ad revenue going. If you don't, basically you're gonna get put into a certain sect of videos, and like it's basically an at-will state, which it's YouTube's always been that way, but now basically it's like if we don't deem your channel either kid friendly or profitable enough to us, we're basically gonna start deleting channels. We're just gonna start axing channels.
Oh yeah.
Because like they did that before in like 2016, I think it was, like when everybody's ads were fucked up. And it's like, yeah, well, we can't advertise on you, so bye, get out.
GGPU.
Yeah. I just wish they would fix the issue instead of like trying to recoup money.
Well, I think they just showed where their loyalty lies. It's towards the bottom line, not the actual content creators or the people that make the website actually, someplace to go. But I digress. How are you this week?
Pokemon.
Yay!
That's how my week's going. There's so many games.
God damn.
There's so many games that I have to get.
There's Jedi Order. There's Pokemon.
Death Stranding, I still don't have. Shenmue comes out next week.
Fuck, I forgot about that.
Yeah, dog.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You're coming out as quick as like Trump controversies. You just be forgetting shit.
Right.
It just keeps coming out.
They all blend together. It's like, oh damn, what's out this week? What happened? What'd he do this time?
Yeah.
What'd he say?
Speaking of Pokemon, you know, last week we talked about the big huckfub and kerfluffle that was caused by the National Pokédex and all that other shit, right?
Yeah.
You know that they found another thing to get bitchy about since then?
Yeah.
Right before the fucking game release?
Yeah.
So people somehow got their hands on the game early, probably with the Japanese eShop or some pre-download stuff, and they were fucking cracking the codes or going in and doing all this other shit that these losers have time for. And, like, they go and look at the graphics, and they find out, gasp, they're not really original models, that they're just upgraded 3DS models.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, they made those models, they made high-res models for the 3DS, like back when X and Y came out, and they had to downgrade them so they would fit on the 3DS.
No one cares.
Like
we
that's
gotta get mad.
Right.
It's
I'm just saying, like for the
it's time to get mad again.
For the sake of facts, like those high res models were made in 2013. They were updated in 2017 because they knew they had to make a game for the new console, but they had to be downgraded so they could fit on the 3DS for X and Y, Sun and Moon, and Aurus. But I don't know. Nobody cares. Like, they're just looking for like I said last week.
Yeah.
They're just looking for reasons to be mad at this game.
That's exactly it. When I read that article, I was like, didn't we just do this like last podcast?
Yeah.
And it was like, wait a minute, this is different. They're bitching about the graphics now.
Yeah.
Guys, you're gonna play the fucking game
Regardless.
At this point, if you're still trying to bitch and moan, you're just fooling yourself. Well, barely. I don't even think you're fooling yourself. I think you already know what you're gonna do. You're just making noise just because you can, because you got a mouth attached to your face.
Because, like, everybody knows, man. Like, nobody buys Nintendo consoles for their graphical prowess.
And that's one of the big things.
Like, you just don't. Nigga.
Like, it's like when the console gets revealed and they say that it's not going to be able to do 4K and all this other stuff, guess what's the first thing out of people's mouths? It's not about the graphics.
It's not about the graphics. It's
game.
about, like, software sells hardware until it's about a game that I actually like. And then it's about the graphics.
And then it's
because
about the graphics.
There's just a couple of things, man. Like, like I said, Nintendo has never put out a console that was graphically superior to any of the other consoles out there, which is fine because they have content that's good, which is why we buy consoles.
Right.
Which is why smart people buy consoles.
Right.
On top of that, like, bro, it's for the longest time we've said the Switch is not optimized because it's running a Tegra 4 chip, which is capable of 4K
in video,
but for the most part, that's still a mobile processor.
Yes.
Like, there's only so much that you're going to be able to do with that.
Can't crank out too much.
Right. Like,
like, that's what the big joke was when they ported Overwatch over. It's it's like, okay, so we get low-res Overwatch now. Good.
So, like, even
what we've always wanted.
Even with the maximum settings on, in portable mode, it's still going to cap out at 900p.
Yeah.
Or sorry, 788p. For the most part, when it's docked, it's gonna be 900, anywhere from 900 to 960.
Yeah, you're not getting 1080p.
You're not getting full 1080
any game.
On any game on this console. Not yet, anyway. Not until they figure out a way to optimize
Switch 2.
These fucking games.
They're probably gonna come out with a Switch 2, and they'll have a different variation on the Joy-Con that doesn't have the stupid setup with those buttons. Yeah. It'll actually come with an actual D-pad. And some shit like that. They want a reason to not buy Sword and Shield or not play Sword and Shield, and it's ignorance in its death throes, man. Because like all of y'all is still making all this hoopla, all of y'all is still making all this noise, and everybody else is still buying the game and having fun. Oh yeah, like I cranked mine up last night after I got off of work and bought my Amiibos because I'm an addict. fucking.
But here,
like it's cool. I like it.
It is, man. Like it's an enjoyable game. But like, here's the big thing. Here's how I knew when when shit was hitting the fan. Like somebody posted a video of, it was like one of the gyms, and basically they hacked the game and cut off the animations because one of the Pokemon did Rock Blast, right?
Yeah.
And it was just jumping in place, and then the hit effect would take place on the other Pokemon, but there was no rock or hit sparks. So I was like, I know something's up now, because like now it's just basically the Pokemon would jump and then the other one would take damage.
Like off of like the GBA games.
Yeah, like, and not even off the GBA games, because even then in those games that attack still had an animation. Like it was like the rock would go across the screen.
Oh yeah, that's right.
5 times.
Right.
So I'm just like, no way. Like if they can animate that particular move in 1996, I know they can do it in 2019. I know they can. So that was what, like, somebody, like, all of those people that were posting those videos got exposed as hacking the game. There was also one instance where they actually changed the draw distance.
Really?
Yeah, because...
Where do you find this shit out from? I just read
Twitter.
the article.
Twitter. Active Twitter user, Smoke Joe Star. but like, it's in the first town, like when you have to go to your rival's house.
Right.
Like, there's a big curve that starts from like this wooden fence all the way down to his house. You can see him once you get past the second post on the wooden fence in the actual game. That's when the draw distance takes in and all the shit that's down there starts to pop up.
Right.
But in this dude's game, he didn't appear until you were ready to make the turn into his house. So I'm like, y'all are altering the draw distance, cutting out animations to try to prove a point that they didn't take their time on this game.
Why do you think people do this? Like, where do you get the jollies from for this?
Because the fear of being wrong far outweighs admitting that you were wrong. Because
so they'll go through the effort of hacking a game and changing numbers, just so that they don't.
Because it's a lot easier to actually cheat your way into being right, as opposed to saying, you know, I took a pretty harsh stance on this game in the beginning before it even came out. I was wrong. I apologize. Like, people would rather die on their heels than actually change. Like, for dumb shit. Like, there's some shit that you shouldn't compromise on, but like this, really?
This isn't a principled stance where lives are on the line.
Like, do you know how far out of your way? It's not worth the effort to me, man. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
If I have to manipulate shit to appear right.
If you have to, I mean, like, they're breaking the law, technically, because they're hacking the game.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're willing to risk jail time over fucking getting,
internet points?
For internet points,
for
my
internet
guy?
Points.
It's like, I hope they'll keep you well. They'll keep you nice and warm when you're in that jail cell with Jerome.
Like,
getting that cocked meat sandwich.
I don't understand, bro. Like,
Guantanamo Bay.
This is why you don't make... Shut up, man. This is why you don't make preemptive judgments about shit that you don't have.
Yeah.
Like, that's what people talking about, all the reviews are bad. I'm like, I don't fucking care. The reviews are opinions.
Like, at this point in gaming journalism history, are we still really considering them as valid?
To be accurate?
Like, I mean, come on, guys. Like, we know what the score is. We've been there. We went through a whole fucking thing where certain YouTubers who never got the second look rose to fucking superstardom when the gaming journalism with the fucking Gamergate shit was going on.
Man.
And these guys have gotten viewers, turned to like million subscriber channels, and once the whole Gamergate thing fucking ended, they kind of turned towards like the anti-feminism thing. And that's when they kept their money coming in. And so they were just like, and once you really go down that rabbit hole, it's really interesting. Because it gets you from one place to the other. Like, in some turns and instances, if you're not careful, you'll wind up on, like, alt-right sites.
Yeah.
and you'll find yourself like agreeing with like racist people. It's fucking. It's like one of those things that you kind of have to back yourself out and go.
Right. It's like, all right, cool. I'm gonna stop that.
Yeah. It's really weird, the YouTube rabbit hole for different things and entities and places and
like Anita,
personalities.
Like Anita Sarkeesian. Like that's
legend.
That's now a relic. It's like I made my millions. Cool. I'm out. Bye, guys. Hold it down.
Oh yeah.
See y'all.
Oh my god. Do you know how many fucking videos were made about feminist frequency and all the things that wasn't even there, or what her fucking or like the quality of the videos looking bad? They're like, where'd all the money go? Huh, Anita? Where is all the money? She stole it, jackass.
That's what I'm saying. She took it.
She took it. This is how she's a fucking capitalist as a motherfucker.
It's like she took it and used it for her own gain.
And now you're making money off of it too, Jack.
Because I was like, it was never about the games, man.
No, it was about them getting the views.
It was never about the fucking games.
Yeah, I mean, they were just using their political stances. I mean, I'm not saying that they were dishonest, but I don't believe people that come through my television screen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if I only know you through my phone or my fucking television or YouTube, it's like I don't know you, so like I don't actually trust you to be realistic. It's just my old-headed politician fucking like can't trust people wearing ties kind of mentality, I guess.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But Pokemon Sword and Shield's out. It's dope.
It is dope.
I'm having fun.
I'm absolutely having fun. You're going to be streaming it, aren't you?
Yeah, dog.
What time is that going to happen?
12 o'clock.
12 o'clock?
Noon.
Eastern Standard Time.
Get there or be rhombus.
Be rhombus. Oh, and what about future times? So that after...
It's Mondays and Wednesdays at 9. Fridays and Saturdays at noon.
So we're on a schedule here, folks.
Yeah, big schedules.
Yeah, so you can set your clock to it. Set your watch to it if you have a watch.
Idiot.
Okay, write it down on your calendar. On your paper calendar that you hang in your kitchen.
Follow the schedule, bitch.
That was a challenge.
Yeah.
Yusuke Urameshi.
Oh my God.
I miss that anime.
So do I. Yu Yu Hakusho is really good.
Yeah.
2 OVAs and then nothing else.
My God, like of all the animes that get like OVAs to this, they're still making OVAs of Urusei Yatsura. And it's like, and I love me some random one half Urusei Yatsura and Inuyasha. What's her name? I forget her name. The person that created all these franchises. I don't remember. But you know who you are, and I love you.
We appreciate you very much.
But Yusuke has been out here kicking ass, getting fucking trained, swallowing like spirit balls, and then nearly dying just so that he can get a power up and shit.
It's amazing.
Fucking like, he deserves more than 2 OVAs.
Man's a god.
Yeah. That new Lupin, the 3rd movie though, that looks cool.
It does. I might have to check it out because I love Lupin the Third.
Yeah.
But there's.
We're going through headlines that we missed last week. We forgot to mention Mr. Witherspoon.
Rip John Witherspoon.
Yeah,
like that's funny because I've been following his son on Twitter and YouTube for like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah,
and like it's weird. Like it's odd because
yeah.
I know how he must feel. Like because he made a tweet. It's like, well, the internet is going, throw out their RIPs.
Yeah,
and basically it'll be done and over with in a week, and I'm still just here.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn.
Yeah, I mean that's real
sucks.
shit. That's real shit, man. Like when he passed, it was like Boondocks was getting back into the mainstream because they were about to start a new series, and and he always had a really good series, like Cooking for Poor Folks on YouTube. That shit is hilarious.
Like that man, he still had a pretty significant presence. Like even after like the 90s, early 2000s, like he was still relevant.
He was still relevant because like people who knew funny people knew that he was a funny motherfucker.
John Witherspoon was funny as shit.
He was actually on the original Richard Pryor show.
Yep.
And he would be like, he actually told a really funny story on the Jamie Foxx show about how Richard Pryor would just be in his trailer, and they would say that he would be too high to actually work. So they would send him back into the trailer, and they'd be like, somebody go get him straight. And get him straight meant come in there with a bowl of Coke. And he just kept doing Coke
Jesus. Jesus.
Man, I should look up that interview with Jamie Foxx and John Witherspoon. Man,
I'll have to check that shit out.
Fucking hilarious.
School shooters.
Again?
Yeah, man.
Isn't that the greatest feeling when you know, like,
we've talked about this at least 3 times since
we're gonna keep
this
it
podcast.
We seriously do intend to keep this podcast positive overall. But it's like I said a long time ago, y'all start acting positive, we'll start getting positive. Fucker.
So,
all right.
I mean, another incident, another non-Muslim, non-POC,
Well, we don't know if this Asian guy
straight shooter.
He could be a dark Asian.
Even then, that's no, man,
You don't count them as POC?
no,
Oh,
not at all.
okay. Well, yeah.
I mean, there's a reason.
Okay.
Like, there's a reason behind that, and the main thing is because of and I'm not saying that he was a part of this or his family partook in this, but the rampant colorism that a lot of Asians live by or try to assimilate into when they come over here.
Well, I don't blame him. It's just like you see if you were walking in an apartment and you smelled like, fried chicken and waffles, I'd be wanting to be part of that too. But,
Shut up now. Shut up.
Positivity. No. But anyway, POC aside, we have a young Asian man, I think male, 14 or 15,
This 15.
shot 5 kids in this high school. 2 of them died in the hospital. 3 of them are recovering, thankfully. And then he shot himself, which seems to be the trend.
I don't wanna have to take repercussions for my actions, so
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah. So things like that happen, and the world doesn't even like. I was curious. I was thinking about this before I came over today. Like, did we see a like tweet out from Trump going fucking rest in peace to the victims? Because he's been pretty consistent on that. As far as like saying it. And like, I think even he forgot. Because he's just like he's
Bro,
got
I just talked about
impeachment
one of
shit
these
going.
like last week.
Yeah, it's like, no, I don't want to retweet the same thing. It's like it's crazy because like my CNN, I keep CNN up all day, and this page refreshes automatically and all that shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Page refreshes, says fucking school shooting, big black mass headline, school shooting in California, and I'm like, damn, again? And,
Yeah.
And that's the reaction.
That's just the state we're in.
We're not even shocked anymore. We're not even like, it's not even like, I don't want to say you're not concerned, but you're not surprised.
It's just desensitized to it.
It's actually kind of crazy that some people are more concerned about graphics in a Pokemon game than the fact that kids are coming into high school shooting up the place.
Priorities.
It's like, I wonder if we had less, like this was the first school shooting since Columbine.
Yeah.
If that it would be that way. It was like, we can't make sense of this. What the hell is happening?
It's almost like thoughts and prayers have lost the juice, and walking up, not out, really doesn't change shit. Yeah. No, I mean it's the state we're in. Like I always talk with my conservative friend about this. He is a full-on supporter for school shootings.
No. Gun. I'm talking about gun stuff.
Oh, okay.
Just like as far as gun rights, because this is what it always boils down to, right? Who has the right to carry? Should teachers carry inside of a school?
No.
I've always been of the mindset that if you're gonna have people in there, you have to have well-trained officers. I don't want no fucking teacher running around with a gun, getting pissed off, running around because kids get into fights, and some of them will try and swing on the teacher every now and then.
Because class wouldn't shut up, so I had to let off a couple.
Yeah,
but I was serious. Fuck no teacher.
Yeah, I don't want to see that shit.
And it's wild that you think we have the money for that, but teachers still have to buy their own supplies.
Yeah,
and teachers, I make more than most teachers. That should not be the case, right? In my opinion, like that's no.
Yeah,
for what I do, I should not be making more or as much as an educator.
And it's just like when we just sit down at our desk. Well, you go.
Well, yeah,
I sit down at a desk and I just make like 17, 18 an hour.
And I mean, like it's basically for a job that demands certified education to pay 30 to 50K a year, I believe it is for most teachers. Of course, there are variables there, but like you're almost always required to have at least a bachelor's with some type of teaching experience.
Yeah.
Before you can become a teacher, and to pay them just barely over what most retail workers make.
Fuck no.
Like that shit dumb, man. Like that's crazy.
It's not really. It's a noble job.
It is.
It's a job that should be paying more. And the thing that always I hear that just bothers me about that is that people try to make this argument that teaching in and of itself is a service.
No.
So it should not be. You should not be getting paid. And I immediately, like when I hear that, I almost cringe because it's one of those things that is so vital. Education is so vital to a healthy society.
Yep.
And they'll be the first ones to admit it, these same people who say that. But when it comes to actually paying them, no, you don't get to, because you're basically a glorified volunteer. That's how they view them. And it's like, no, man, this is actually a skilled trade.
Right.
Especially if you're actually good at teaching, because not every teacher is good.
Yeah.
Like, I think it should be. I don't think every teacher deserves the same pay. I think it should be based on performance. But they do deserve a base minimum for having to deal with students, like 30 students
for 8 hours a day.
8 hours a day for multiple classes.
Because my way of looking at it, like, is if you don't want to pay them a higher salary, then pay them the standard rate for babysitting, which is $10 an hour. $10 an hour for 8 hours, so that's $10 a kid. So that's roughly $250 based on class size. Like that's $250 times 8, and then multiply that by 12, which would end up being somewhere in the field of almost $300,000 a year.
Yeah.
Which, I think that's a tad high.
Yeah. but I see what you're saying.
Right.
You want them to keep an eye on your kids. You want them to be like these fucking. You want them to educate your kids. You want them to teach them this. You want them to teach them that. You want them to take care of them. And now you want to give them guns because of school shooting.
Right.
The amount of pressure and things that you put on these teachers, the last thing you want to give them is a gun.
That shit's stressful, man. Like, because even when we were in high school, I'm just like, nigga, I know how I would react if some of our classmates did the shit they did and I was teaching.
Oh yeah, I'd burn the fucking school down while locking them in.
Like that shit that's not an easy job, dude.
No, it's not.
It's really not, especially when you basically have to fund all of your supplies.
Yes.
Like I don't think there's any other job that makes you 100% fund what you need to do that job.
No, there's no job that does that. That's insane. That is crazy.
Right. Like even like desk jobs, man. Like imagine if you had to buy your own MacBook, your own printer, your own shredder, all of the required materials for it. So like paper, ink, mice, keyboard, headset. Like, you had to fund all of that. And then on top of that, we're going to pay you essentially just over minimum wage.
Yeah, a shit wage.
Right.
A shit wage. But people will say you're still, will look at you and your union and go, you guys are already getting paid enough. You guys are already getting paid enough. It's like people really don't understand what unions were for in the first place. That's a stream for another day.
It is, man. Like, I ain't talk about that shit for hours.
Yeah, no, like, it's because, once again, like, I always love looking at reactions to things, and a lot of the people, too, that react to it, and there is a certain kind of person that kind of reacts the exact same way to these things, who they shall remain nameless. I'm pretty sure you can picture them in your head.
Yeah.
They don't, how should I say, fucking discipline for thee, but not for me. You know, for thee, not for me. I should get all the money, and I should be able to fucking fight against my employer, but
not
you as a teacher, no. You should be
it.
watching the kids. That's what you ought to be doing.
You just gotta hold that.
Yeah, no, like, I love it when the teachers walk out.
Yeah.
My mom is a bus driver, actually, for the school system, which is like another job that gets
severely underrated.
Shitted on.
Severely underrated.
They all just decided to call out sick one day. Just all the bus drivers.
Yep.
Like on a Monday morning, all them kids were sitting at the bus stop.
And that's what I'm saying, man.
They
Like,
just all called out sick at the same time to get their demands.
Like, you gotta understand, like, the power of just the common worker. Because I'm like, you know, I mean, most companies or organizations will try to, like, devalue and or infantilize a lot of their workers to make them think that they need to be there.
Right.
Because I'm like, if every teacher across the nation one day just said, you know what?
Fuck it,
I'm not coming into work for a week. Do you know what the fuck would happen to the school district?
Oh yeah. And
they would have to make the changes that they've been demanding.
And this is the crazy part about it. They have more ability to do that than just about any other position because they are so important. It's not like when the McDonald's or Walmart workers, when they walked out, they fucking just fired all those guys.
Right.
And hired
It's like we just brought in new people.
Right. But when if teachers all did that, no.
Yeah,
chaos in the streets.
Like,
same with bus drivers. Same with anyone else who actually makes the world work.
Like civil service, man. Like, if civil service workers just one day decided, yeah, we're not gonna do this shit, like, collectively,
come on now.
So much shit would change almost immediately.
Come on
it's
now.
not even funny, dude.
I mean, like, if you fucking think the DMV is bad now, when you have to actually deal with that shit.
Like, y'all gotta realize we are the majority in this situation.
Y'all got it confused.
Like, yeah, you got the game fucked up. I mean, like, yeah, they have more money. Like, you know, the owners and
they
CEOs,
sign the checks, absolutely.
Like, they sign those checks, but I'm like, nigga, if you ain't got nobody working the company,
you ain't gonna be making no money until
like,
you sign anyway.
The fucking bottom falls out.
Oh, exactly.
Like,
so we need our fucking demands met.
Right. Like, I'm not gonna go. I want to go where I'm celebrated, not tolerated.
There you go.
You know.
Damn.
And I just can't. Like,
yeah.
Because when I was at my previous job, again, not gonna say what it was, even though I'm pretty sure I've said it on stream before. But like, even when I was at my previous job, sure,
Queen of the Frontier.
Yeah. But like, even when I was at my previous job, man, there would be like days where my entire department would organize call-outs. And almost every time that we did that, the store would be 30 to 35% under the budget. But every time we're in there, you act like we're the worst fucking department. You treat other departments differently than you do us. We're basically held to a whole other set of rules.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you know what? They can't fire all of us. They can't fire any of us for one, because like the turnover rate in here is trash. Two, if they did, this store probably would never make budget again.
Right.
Because I'm like, we're the biggest department. We're also the busiest. We never under budget. Like, we always were at bare minimum what we were supposed to do every day. Yeah. And like that's how we handled it. It's like, you know what? I think I'm gonna call out today, guys, because we had a whole group meet. I was like, you know what? I think we should just call out today. Like, you know what? I'm feeling that. And then now either the people that claim that our job is easy or that they can do our job better than I can have to do that job, and they fucking couldn't. Right. So just a small scale,
little anecdotal example
of how that works.
Right.
But
I mean,
anarchy gets results.
Yeah.
So does bullying. Like, you seen that Sonic redesign? Like, we literally bullied a studio.
I was gonna bring that up before school shootings.
Like, we literally bullied a studio into changing their design.
Oh, they had no choice. That original design. I swear, I don't. You know what? Fuck. Hold on. Anything else about school shootings?
No.
Because we kind of went on a teacher rant.
That's it.
Yeah. Rest in peace. Get your kids in order. Y'all better do something about your guns, or else it's gonna get done for you. I say that every week, every time this happens, but I'm gonna keep on saying it until something changes.
Facts.
Okay, now, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
What you mean?
That fucking new trailer, yeah, that brought so much joy into my heart.
Right.
Seeing that new redesign, it just brings me such joy. And somebody made a point about saying, like, what if back when Dragon Ball Evolution came out, if people did that shit?
We did the same shit.
Oh my god, how different would this world be? How different can this world be? We might have achieved world peace.
Maybe.
By this point. Like,
oh god.
Good lord, the new design is so much better.
Right, it looks like Sonic.
It looks like Sonic.
And that shouldn't be something that's hard to do, because this franchise is almost 30 years old.
But it just raises the question, who thought the original one was a good idea?
I have no clue.
Like, who? I'm pretty sure Yuji Naka wasn't on the call.
Fuck no, he wasn't.
Yeah.
It's like, like, the running theory, as of course there always has to be one when somebody makes a drastic change, because, you know, people and things just can't change.
That's just how it goes.
Without there being some underlying insidious plot.
There has to be. Like, that's the way stories work.
Right. So, like, the running theory now is that the original one, or I'm sorry, the current one was the original, and then they made the odd looking Sonic as a publicity stunt to kind of get people to be like, oh yeah, hey, we listen.
Oh, a bait and switch.
Yeah, so it's basically like, hey, we have the original Sonic, we have like the Sonic design that we want, but here's this one, so y'all can, like, you know, fucking flip shit.
I don't buy that.
Me either.
I don't.
That's a lot of effort and time wasted.
That's a lot of effort. No, like, and we're talking about a movie corporation here.
Yeah.
Then movie corporations are not exactly known for being in touch with the fans and the original properties.
Yeah.
So I doubt that. Plus, it's like, unless you have original storyboards with dates and names that can be confirmed and verified.
Yep.
I don't buy that.
Now, of course, like, if something gets out and that's the case, I'll change my stance on it.
Oh, absolutely. Once I see the evidence for that, but, you know, I don't believe things simply off an assertion.
No, fuck no.
Especially on the internet.
Fuck. Because and I say bullying, but that's not the right word.
No,
but
this was a mass outcry of anger.
Right.
This was people. We were only, if they had. Oh my god, if they put Tails in and he looked like that, there would have been pitchforks.
No.
And fucking fire and brimstone being rained down on those guys.
Just, again, another instance of
the people
versus everything else. Like,
coming through it. We get wins every now and then, y'all.
Right, like, they stayed on Paramount shit about it. It was like, I don't like this redesign. Yo, if y'all don't change this redesign, I'm not finna go see this movie.
Yeah, this is inexcusable.
Yeah, like, it was consistent. Like, there was like a 2-month period where that shit was either it was trending or it was like top 10 trending topics for 2 months straight.
Yeah,
just because there was so much backlash.
It was just, I mean, and well deserved. My God, that thing was horrible.
Because somebody did a side by side of them, and it's like it's night and day.
It is night and day. It looks like they got as a matter of fact, they got the guy. They have a guy on the lead design of it, apparently, who used to make fan comics for Sonic back in the day. And, like, his design is, I mean, it just looks right.
Right.
It looks right.
Sonic Mania.
Yes.
Like,
God bless.
Part of them were on the design team.
I mean, my goodness.
Sonic Mania changing the meta of this character.
Changing the meta of the franchise. Giving it fucking new life. I need a
sequel. It's been almost 3 years.
Has it?
Yeah, dude, Sonic Mania
shit
came out August 2017.
Jesus Christ, that game was good as fuck. It's
fucking fire, nigga.
That game was, oh my God, that music.
Like every now and then I'll boot it back up and play it, but like it's
that game.
Yeah,
that game. Like it's. I want to know what they would do with a sequel. They have to put. I want to see Amy make it. I want to see Cream the Rabbit make it. I want Sonic Advance, but with the Mania team behind it.
I want Sonic Rush. That's what I want.
Didn't they just come out with a Sonic game where they were kart racing?
Yeah, Sonic Team Racing.
Yeah, why did they do that?
That's been a franchise for like 9 years.
No, nigga, I don't give a fuck. Why do they do that? Why does Sonic need a
technically longer
kart?
than that, because Sonic Drift was a thing.
Yeah, why does he need a kart?
To be fair with everybody else.
Fuck fair.
I mean, you're right, but nah. Because then
he could just slow down.
Because then you get Sonic R, nigga. And I don't want another one of those.
I want a good Sonic R. It can happen.
Nope.
It can happen.
It can't.
I promise you.
Because they tried it with Rivals. Nope.
No, fuck that. No. That era of Sonic doesn't count.
It can't.
That shit doesn't count.
You'll get a cherry pick.
That shit does not even fucking count.
You get a cherry pick.
You're like picking like Sonic Heroes era.
Sonic Heroes was good.
Oh, fuck, that doesn't count.
Do you realize Sonic Heroes?
Modern fucking Sonic Mania minded people to make a Sonic racing game.
You realize Sonic Heroes?
That's what the fuck we need.
Like Sonic Advance, Sonic Rush all fall into the same Sonic Heroes era, right?
Sorry, y'all had to take a swallow of water just to say, fuck that. I don't give a shit. Fuck it.
That's some very,
That's
some very conservative logic that you're using right now.
Hey, look, I'm getting older, okay?
Fuck that.
I'm getting grayer in the hair.
Fuck that shit.
Eventually.
You have a college education. You're not allowed.
I'm gonna fucking put an American flag as my curtains.
Oh my god, yeah, you have to take
and
every
don't
picture.
tread.
You have to take every picture in sunglasses.
Yeah.
Every picture I take, I must have on sunglasses.
Whoa, buddy.
It's a requirement.
That's so accurate. That shit actually hurts.
That shit's scary accurate.
Did you see the Eric Andre at the RNC?
I did.
I swear to God, I must have forgotten about it because I rewatched it the other day and it felt so fresh.
I want him to do another because he went to both of them. Like he went to the
But they revoked his press pass at DNC.
Of course they did.
Yeah,
of course.
That's where the "let me in" thing came from.
That was wild. Fucking, I love that show, man. It's so
Eric
so
Andre
goofy.
Is so brilliant. I wish we had him if we had Dave Chappelle and Eric Andre.
Yeah.
When we were growing up, our generation would be even. Like, we already got the viewpoint, son.
Oh, my God. That's so fucking funny.
Eric Andre at the George W. Bush RNC. Fuck.
Wild.
Wow.
Wild.
Oh, my God. Then, yeah.
What else happened this week?
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus.
It's here. The world has changed.
Yeah, dude. I got it.
She's the center of everything.
I got it. Because major shouts to Verizon, because I have Verizon Unlimited, and like they have a contract.
Oh yeah, they had it like a year for free, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Nigga.
Congratulations for that.
Thanks, man. I get thanks. I didn't do shit.
Fuck you, but I mean, congratulations. Like they have a package that has like Hulu, ESPN Plus, and Disney Plus for like $175 for a year, I think.
Yep.
And that's almost tempting enough for me to get because Hulu has live sports. If you did not hear. I'm sure you've seen the commercials.
It's godlike.
And fucking ESPN. I hate ESPN, but you know it'll be there for when college basketball is on, I guess.
Facts.
So yeah, no, Disney Plus. There was a big hubbub about the fact that the fucking thing with 10 billion people signing up on the first day had crashes. You know, when it first rolled out.
Shocker.
People were like, oh my God, it's already facing problems. It's like...
I mean, I knew what it was from the get-go, man. Like, Disney... Like, it's the dichotomy of Disney, man. Like, Disney is approaching, like, planet-sized monopoly.
Oh, it's brilliant. I actually enjoy watching it in a certain way.
Right. Like, secondly... I can't say that they make bad business decisions.
No.
Or consistently bad business decisions.
No.
Because their acquisitions have all been billion-dollar properties.
That's the reason why when Sony told them to fuck off, people were just like...
And even I still stand by that.
Oh yeah, that was a good business decision on Sony's part.
100%, I still stand behind Sony when it came to the Spider-Man
Absolutely.
Like...
But you know, fanboys, they're gonna be fucking at the fucking doorstep.
Of course.
And they're gonna be defending Disney like night and day.
Well,
and so but anyway, like, I mean, it's really weird because like you look at everything that Disney entails. Like, I forgot that they had National Geographic. Like,
National Geographic,
you can watch
20th Century Fox, Marvel, and Star Wars. We're getting a Star Wars series.
Yeah, Mandalorian and they're gonna come out with another one.
Yep. Like,
just Star Wars.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's supposed to be another one after this one. I don't know if it's like Mandalorian season 2 or if it's something completely different. But there's supposed to be another something.
Fucking hell! I mean, it's insane because you have the X-Men original animated series. I remember you made a tweet about that gumbo,
bruh. Watching some of these old shows and cartoons as an adult has just either rekindled or given me a new perspective on this shit.
Yeah.
Cause like the first 2 episodes of the X-Men series, just like Wolverine just being a dick for no reason. Like that shit's just funny. So like as a kid, you're just like, oh man, he's so cool, he's such a badass. Now it's just like, nigga, all of this shit is unwarranted from like some type of mental trauma. And now I can understand.
Yeah.
That. Same thing with fucking this nigga Cyclops tried to kick people off the team more than Didney tried to close the studio, bro. Like, this nigga was rampant with that shit. It's like, hey, bro, Cyclops was just...
You can join the team when you get me a sugar cookie from Queens.
Right, I'm like, bro, this nigga Cyclops, I'm pretty sure the only person he didn't threaten to kick off the team was Storm.
Oh, she wasn't gonna have that.
If I remember correctly,
she wasn't gonna have that. She wasn't. No, that sister wasn't gonna have that.
And like Wolverine salt with Cyclops. Basically, it was because Cyclops was the leader and he wasn't, and Cyclops was smashing Jean, and you were salty about it. Like, nigga, what kind of character motivation is this?
It's the 90s.
Like, bro, that shit is wild. Like, it's
the fucking 90s.
Just watching this shit, man. Watching this shit as an adult and understanding, like, just so much more about, like, behavioral patterns.
Right.
And just mentality behind certain things.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just like, dog, this is wild. I'm also finna start rewatching the Spider-Man series. They have that, too.
That's gonna be...
They have Ultimate Spider-Man, the 90s cartoon, and, like, that other series that they did that I didn't really watch.
Unlimited?
Yeah, Unlimited.
Really?
Yeah, they, like, bro, it's... Disney Plus has almost everything that Disney's ever done.
Did they have the Fantastic Four series on there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I definitely gotta get it.
Like, there are certain movies and, like, live series that are missing.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's pretty complete. Nigga, they have the first 2 seasons of Teacher's Pet. I lost my shit.
Oh my
and
God.
The movie. I lost my shit.
I forgot Teacher's Pet had a movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw it. I was like 13. But it... As I remember it, it was an okay movie.
Yeah,
I have to watch it again to see.
But that was our kid
that
vision,
missed,
you
right?
know. Yeah.
But like I know Teacher's Pet was funny as shit because I used to watch the reruns when I was still in college.
Yeah.
Like that's just a fun. Like the cartoon was fucking hilarious. But same thing with Recess. Like I didn't know Recess had more than one movie. I only remember School's Out.
No shit.
Yeah, like apparently there are 2 more Recess movies. Like one's like taking the 5th grade, and I forgot the title of the other
Like
one.
Disney Plus, man. Like
Yeah.
it's like a walk down memory lane for folks like us.
And they also have all the Star Wars shit, like the Clone Wars, Star Wars Rebels.
Oh, I need to definitely hop on.
It's
that is like you can watch like you can marathon Star Wars Rebels and then watch a National Geographic special on polar bears. What is this fucking streaming
and they
service?
have all the movies, man. Like that's the big thing, dude. They have like all the Star Wars content. I didn't look to see if the Christmas special was on there.
Oh,
I hope not.
Oh no! If we're doing that, we're doing a live stream.
It probably is.
Yeah, but if so, we're doing a live stream.
I don't want to watch that shit again.
No, dog, it has to be done.
It's so bad.
It has to be done.
It's so fucking bad.
I know.
Man.
You don't. Lumpy sends his regards. And Itchy. Itchy was a grandpa. Like the fucking Wookiee, he had like an actual gum. Like he had a gum line. He didn't have any top teeth.
He didn't.
So his lips was coming in, and like that stereotypical cartoonish like grandpa look.
Right.
And they had that, but it was a Wookiee, and it was disgusting. It was like Sonic's original design. It was just horrible looking. And
I'm gonna get my phone. I'm gonna like just go over some of the old shit that's on here.
He just like knocked his mic down. Okay.
It didn't fall.
No, it shrunk.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's fine.
All right.
It's cold.
All right. Well, yeah. Speaking of which, Georgia Auburn today.
We gonna win.
Boy.
We gonna win. I ain't worried about it.
Nah, man, I'm worried.
LSU beat Alabama, nigga. I am not worried.
No, because if we win, then we got to face LSU in the SEC championship game. That's the only way we're going to make the playoffs.
Okay.
So that's like, if we don't get past LSU, then we wouldn't be able to get past Ohio State. I can tell you that. So,
John,
it's like fucking.
sometimes it's not about winning; it's about sending a message.
What is that from? That is from
pretty
something.
sure it's the Dark Knight.
In that one, it was it's not about money. It's about sending a message. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's good. That works.
I didn't even know Avatar was a Disney movie.
What?
Avatar, the James Cameron one.
Oh, I was about to say. Wait a minute. No.
Fuck no, that's Nickelodeon.
Yeah, I was about to say. No. Did they just buy Nickelodeon just out of nowhere? Because that shit would be amazing.
No, Nickelodeon partnered up with Netflix and Cartoon Network.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That was the big news this week, too.
Cartoon Network partnered up with HBO, and I really don't want to get HBO, but Cartoon Network had some bangers.
If they put Johnny Bravo and Dexter's Lab and the old
Genndy cartoons and Two Stupid Dogs, I would get it just for Two Stupid Dogs.
I get it for Cow and Chicken.
That shit is fucking amazing.
Yeah. But, the rumor has it that they're going to be actually making like new series with the old properties for Netflix, which makes me curious, because a modern day Hey Arnold has so much more stuff to dive into, like psychologically.
Bruh, like Hey Arnold was a woke ass show in the 90s.
We were too young. I was too young. I can tell you that.
I can't imagine what the fuck Hey Arnold would be like now.
I cannot tell you, but they better have some actual psychologists in that background there, because I don't want to see no propaganda shit. No, I just want to see some real ass shit, like how these kids would feel. That's because Hey Arnold back in the day, I was too young. I didn't understand the depth.
You have that's one of those shows you have to rewatch.
You have to rewatch it, and when you're a kid, you have to watch it with your parents. Yeah, like because when Helga's going through therapy, like that's like one of the greatest cartoon episodes of anything ever.
Like she was going through therapy. Was it Harold had his
bar
mitzvah, which is weird because I'm like, you fucking 13 in grade school. I didn't understand. Well, I guess that would be the case because like most people are 14 when they go to college.
I think their middle school thing was like one of those elementary to middle school.
Oh, because
it was PS13.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it was one of those things. But yeah, you had the episode where Phoebe was like, she got tired of being just yanked around by Helga, and she started bullied.
Yeah, she stood up for herself. Then
Gerald, he had a few episodes.
Yeah,
where
where his were really fucking good.
His shit was fucking heavy, man. Like with his brother, like he just like, and the music played so well into it.
Yeah, man, acid jazz.
Man,
fucking acid jazz, dog.
Like that show was too good for us back then. It really was.
Like that's. Like it's really like one of the pillars. I would almost say the pinnacle.
Yeah.
But like it's really one of the pillars of like how to do cartoons right. Because it was just the perfect balance of like good life lessons
and they also had
humor.
They had some humorous episodes.
And like it was just diverse, man. Like I don't think any other cartoon that I've seen actually shows somebody like an accurate bar mitzvah.
Yeah.
Like, where you have to go up there and read from the fucking Torah and everything. Like, it's...
Mr. Nguyen with his daughter, who was left back in Vietnam.
Yeah, Mr. Nguyen. Like, this man had to leave his daughter. That one fucking...
that one hurt.
Oscar and his wife, when they had... When they had to babysit his sister-in-law's kid.
Yeah.
And, like, those niggas always had those, marital issues, but nobody really wanted to address it.
Right.
And I was just like, This is like the perfect depiction of like just diverse life,
and it was done respectfully. That's something I really enjoyed. They didn't fucking talk down to the kids, and they didn't try and make things too big. Once again, I feel as though that's a show you need to watch with your parents and like literally talk about, because some of your parents are probably going through the same shit. Yep. Like the whole dichotomy between Helga and Olga. Yeah. And the fact that her parents, because her mom...
We paid more attention to her.
Yeah. It's confirmed by the original writers that her mom was an alcoholic.
Yeah.
The smoothies, that was just alcohol.
Shit that you didn't catch on to as a kid. I'm like, why is this bitch always fucking tired? And
why is she always on some smoothies?
Because she's a wine mom.
Yeah. It's her
dad is like super neglectful and only cares about his business.
Beepers.
So like he doesn't have time for anybody else.
Except for his good daughter, quote unquote.
And Olga was the one that was just talented, but like the pressure was a lot for her, because there was an episode where she just has like a mental meltdown because she fucked up once,
right?
And I was just, it's such a good magnifying glass cartoon.
It is like so it's like good. Social commentary in a way,
right?
But it's like, once again, they didn't talk down to you.
Right, like they didn't spoon feed it to you.
Yeah, they gave it to you raw, really.
It's like that. It's a timeless show, because like legit, I could go back and pick any episode of Hey Arnold right now, and that shit will still slap.
Oh yeah,
like that shit will still
shit.
Go
like
off.
I mean, when they do the heavy shit, like when or just something like lighthearted, when like fucking the Permanent Record. Yeah, you remember that shit?
Yeah,
I was like, because I remember when we first watched that episode, they were talking about permanent records in school. Yeah. And I'm like...
That's not a fucking thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm like, wait a minute. So you're telling me that I'm going to apply for a job when I'm like 20, and they're going to look back at my middle school report card?
No, fuck no.
Yeah.
Like, what actually led me to figuring out that wasn't a real thing was because I got sent to the principal's office in 4th grade, and she had to go somewhere. And I went into her file cabinet, and her file cabinet was basically like... signed permission slips, like all of our health info, just in case we needed something to happen, and like just safety drills.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I figured that, teachers didn't really keep track of that shit, because how would they do that for like hundreds of students?
Exactly.
Like there ain't enough paper in the fucking world to keep a daily record of every single fucking student. That's not how it works.
No, that was a scare tactic in the tool that they've used to try and keep kids in line.
So that's going on your permanent record.
Psychological warfare.
And I was just like, what? Why do you get access to that?
Yeah, it's like,
where is it where I can see it? Because if it pertains to me, I should be able to see it.
I should have access to it. Just go your permanent record. Fuck off.
Assholes.
The only permanent record I have is my Google search history. The FBI, they got a good eye on that right now.
Yeah, they are.
They got that. Oh, did you see that Joe Rogan with Edward Snowden?
Yeah, I did. I saw that.
That shit was fucking great.
That shit was amazing.
Yeah, like I love it. He was just breaking down how the cell phones track your position and all that. Yep. It was like, oh well, because there was like the Alex Jonesian types who were just like, I knew it the whole time. I knew it.
You realize
and
that
you just can't.
your SIM card is literally connected to a global network at all times, right?
I didn't know.
You can turn off.
They said that we were crazy.
It's fucking boomer logic, dude.
Oh my god.
Turn off your location.
Fuck, I'm starting to grow tired of that okay boomer phrase.
Why?
Because it's so. At this point, it's become. It's become too dismissive, and on one hand. Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're not gonna make any fucking progress by just being dismissive exclusively. At this point, and I understand it to a certain degree, because talking to some of these people is like talking to a brick wall.
Yeah.
And why waste your breath? And especially when it comes to things like that, there aren't very many things in society that I'm actually concerned about, but climate change is one of them.
Right.
And so when you have one of these old heads who are sitting there talking about how God's gonna keep the fucking thing, I don't say okay boomer, I say fucking okay idiot.
Yeah.
You know,
like
but it's like I'm seeing people go online and they just fucking raise up just okay boomer at any opinion.
Yeah.
And I am of the mindset that if one wants to actually make an actual change in the world, you can't just be dismissive. You have to be able to address the point. Now, after you address the point and they just continue being hard-headed, then I see it as valid.
There's two scenarios in which I think it's really relevant. Like, I just want to preface that by saying that's not a new phrase. Like, me and my friend, I'm going to call him John. Not because...
Hi.
Shut up, not you, idiot. But, like, we were saying that shit, like, years ago. This was back when I still worked at, like, fucking Piggly Wiggly. Like, we were just... When we would go on our rants about old people, we would just say that shit. So it's not a new thing. It's just one of those things that picked up steam.
It came around like fashion.
Yeah, but like there are two situations that I believe it's a pretty relevant thing to say. The first is, like you said, when you make a very valid point and they still want to be dismissive or ignorant about it.
Yeah.
The first one is when somebody comes into the conversation with something that's just extremely outlandish and you know it's incorrect.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like arguing. It's like, okay.
Yeah, that when they come in with like the fucking work phrases talking about, like, you know, if you work hard.
If you work hard, like that's the only factor in getting
that will get you. Once you work hard, they'll see it and they'll get you a little bit. You'll get more attention.
That's all you have to do is work hard.
I was thinking about that.
Fuck out of here.
I was thinking about that. I'm like, what job scenario have I ever had in my 20 years of working, really? Has that ever been a thing? And
it never?
Honestly, I can't really say.
Because it isn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking, like, where does this start? Like, maybe in the 50s, like, they had something that was going on, but I would think that if you could suck good dick, you probably get moved ahead anyway.
Probably.
So, I mean, like, even then, like, I mean, I guess that counts as working hard too. But you know,
it's one of those phrases that it's in the same vein as what happened to the word cancel. Like, you took it, ran with it, misconstrued it, and then subsequently ran it into the ground. Because now you have people like Gen Z people calling anybody that's not Gen Z boomer. And I'm like, there's a whole demographic of people that word describes. It's not a derogatory term. That's literally a generation. That's a baby boomer.
That's what I'm saying. Like, when it gets used to the extent for being so dismissive, when people, ignorant ass motherfuckers or stupid motherfuckers who don't understand what it actually means,
right, they're
just gonna use it wrong. Like, somebody fucking, like, they could, if I fucking expressed like my Sonic the Hedgehog rant earlier, like, that was completely incorrect, but somebody heard it, they could just go, okay, boomer, but which would be, no, I'm not a boomer, I'm just, like, stupid, you know, just like fucking, I just said something stupid,
right?
Like, that's about it. But you can't
call anybody that generally disagrees with you boomer,
right?
Just like they shouldn't call anybody that's not 40 plus millennial.
Yes, and that so it goes both ways,
right? I
can definitely see that. Because, that's the reason why I think that has gained popularity,
right?
As well.
Because, like, the millennial was the first one, like that was the first that, like, you basically use it. Same thing with liberal. I was like, you basically use it as an infantilizing term, or a derogatory term.
Yeah, just to kind of write someone off.
I mean, fam, like the youngest millennial is 24 years old.
Yeah.
The oldest one is 38.
Yeah.
Like, you can't use that to try to make somebody feel bad for being young. We aren't that young.
Honestly.
Like, we aren't teenagers.
Yeah.
So, like, same thing with liberal. Like, you're trying to make a pejorative out of a label.
Right.
I was like, bro, most people fall on a spectrum of that shit anyway. Like, there's some shit that I would consider myself conservative about. Mm-hmm. There's some shit that I'm pretty fucking liberal about.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But I'm definitely more left-leaning
that's
than
me
anything.
Too. Yeah.
But that's, like, calling me a millennial is not an insult. That's what I am.
Right.
Like, I'm 28. Like, I fall into that age demographic.
Yeah, and so, like, I think that's what just pains me about the whole idea of the labeling of okay boomer and millennial is that it's just another way for people to ignore each other rather than actually talk. And there's no way that we're gonna fix this thing unless we actually talk to each other.
Right.
Like at this point, we've tried ignoring each other, and 5 other kids just got killed.
Yep.
Ignoring the actual problem. So it has to. We have to actually start doing something. And it's not going to happen on Twitter, by the way. It's not going to happen online.
Let Donald tell it will.
Does he have Verizon? Like, who does he have service with?
I don't know.
I guess when you're a president, you have to have your own private thing anyway. Like, he has a presidential line with T-Mobile.
I was about to say it's probably T-Mobile. T-Mobile has just as much coverage as Verizon. It's just their towers are trash.
Yeah.
Like, that's the long short of it. Like, they cover just as much area as Verizon does. Their towers are just poop, man.
It's a damn shame. Well, I think that was everything. We covered more than what we originally said we were going to, but
that's good.
That's why I like doing this. We just kind of make things happen. By the way, CM Punk came back.
What would he do?
He came back to WWE in a strange way. So WWE has a new deal with SmackDown. SmackDown is partnered with Fox, and CM Punk has made his return after 5 years of basically abuse, because that's what they do to their wrestlers. And he works with Fox now, and so now he's a TV analyst for pro wrestling, but not pro wrestling, just SmackDown. So I found that to be pretty weird, but awesome at the same time, because he basically just did everything that he wanted, and then he got a great contract deal out of it, and now he's gonna be working television. So yeah,
that's fun.
Yeah, go Dogs. We're taking it this week. We are gonna do it.
I wanna if we do another one next week, I wanna revisit that statement, because I'm gonna be watching your Facebook stories. I live for that shit, dude.
Oh yeah.
Like when Georgia plays, I was like, oh my god, I gotta look at John's Facebook.
You saw the one against South Carolina?
I did.
Oh yeah, that was
heated.
I lost my voice. I tell you what, you don't just lose. You lost to a backup of a backup. We took the backup quarterback out, and we still lost. 4 turnovers, Blankenship missing. I tell you what, we better win this damn game.
Big thumbs up.
We better win this damn game. I swear,
Like if John,
we are in the perfect position. We gotta win out, but fuck, man.
If John doesn't have an aneurysm, we'll see y'all for week 22.